We're here today because our supermarkets have been converted into crime scenes. And that wasn't supposed to happen. Large farms and ranches are clearing millions of hectares of tropical forests for soy, beef, palm oil, sugar and cocoa, much of it for export. That process is fueling climate change to a very large extent and is displacing an ever-growing number of traditional communities. And much of that process is not simply unsustainable, it's patently illegal. And unfortunately, Europe is directly at the heart of this.
When you drain Africa of the raw materials that we need to power our own development, to grow our own economies, in the way that you are doing right now, then it is a double standard when you turn around and say you are trying to help me to lift my people out of poverty because you are driving my people deeper and deeper into poverty.
We need EU action, and we need it fast. In 2008, the EU made a commitment to halting deforestation by 2030 and at least halving tropical deforestation by 2020 compared with 2008 levels. Are we reducing this fast enough? Are we heck?
We know that sustainable farming happens best when farmers have their own clear property rights, because that gives them the incentive not only to produce this year, but to invest in their farm and to produce in subsequent years. Without property rights, a farmer is often living from one year to the next and does not invest sustainably in his land.
This Commission understands that it is urgent to rebuild the trust of the European public opinion in the ability of the EU to deliver results and to remain faithful to its values, and most of all, to practice what it preaches. We may impose a clear due diligence obligation on EU-based companies to seek information as to whether the products that they purchase have not been acquired by the seller in violation of land rights, beyond what is already done by the EU timber regulation, and to extend this system to all purchasers of agricultural products.
Now, when I talk to people here, a lot of times I hear that there is no appetite for more regulations. But your companies are still behaving very badly abroad. So if there's no appetite for regulation here, then we got a problem. The human rights abuses are still going to continue unabated in Africa, and that needs to be addressed by somebody.
FLEG has been very good when it comes to wood and timber, but it hasn't dealt much with pastures and crops. And that's crucial, since clearing forests for agriculture is actually now the largest cause of land grabbing and deforestation. I think a good starting point would be to start with the best of FLEG and the FLEG process. First, FLEG is a partnership. It's not about blaming other people or other countries. It's not presented as a producer problem. Everyone understood that it was a consumer, an investor, a supply chain problem. It was a problem of all of those concerned. It wasn't presented as an African problem or an Asian problem, but a problem that was deeply European.
What we need to come back to is to something that gives us more security that what we are trading in are effectively legal trades that create the benefits that we expect from international trade. We then need to make sure that within these countries, governance is such that we can trust the legality of the products traded.
The way global trade is driving the agricultural model is not towards sustainability. Let's be clear about that. It's more concentration, it's more industrial farming, it's not about, food sovereignty, it's not about, local farming for local consumers.
It will help if this conversation can continue, and that at the end of the day, we can see some concrete action prepared by Europe to tell the rest of the world, particularly those of us who are suffering at the hands of European companies, how they will regulate their companies and how they will ensure that their companies do better in the global south. Thank you very much.